introducing our next speaker, Dr. Rebecca Gould. Rebecca is an amazing woman, wife, mother, and chiropractor out of St. Louis. So Rebecca, please come and share your story with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. And I didn't know, Pat, that you and Greg and I are all birds of a feather, because all three of us became a coach and a client on the same day. So how about it? I always knew I had a special feeling around you two, but I didn't know that that was one of the things. So, well, thanks again for inviting me to talk about this topic. I have to say I'm a little nervous, but I'm just going to do my best to breathe and speak quietly and softly and slowly. So I became a coach and client on the same day, as I mentioned, and the weight loss part of my journey was incredible. I lost about 33 pounds, took about 3 months, and it was a great start on my path to optimal health. But it was not my biggest transformation. About 4 years after that weight loss, I got pretty uncomfortable, I'll have to say. I was enjoying coaching my clients. I'm a chiropractor. I have a great practice. I have beautiful kids and wonderful marriage, but and I'd lost that weight, but in a lot of ways as a coach, I was not walking my talk. And I don't know if you've ever felt this way when you're working with clients, but it gets uncomfortable to be telling our clients to stop, challenge, and choose. And then we realize, oh, maybe I could have stopped, challenge, and choose a little better. Not that we have to be perfect, but I'll explain. So I realized I was out of integrity and I was becoming more uncomfortable. And today I know to celebrate this kind of discomfort, because it means I'm butting up against an obstacle. So yay for obstacles. And I love it that Greg talked about habit 3 of the transformational leadership. We seek growth and embrace the obstacle as the way. So I was coming up against an obstacle and coming to realize it was something I needed to learn about myself. So relationships, the theme tonight of relationships can lift us up. And of course, relationships can also be an obstacle. And sometimes part of the healing is distancing ourselves from toxic relationships. And for me, I did not have toxic people really to break up with, but I had some toxic behaviors and some patterns that didn't serve me. And it was coming to a point where I would need to step over those obstacles and figure out how to move forward. I had to break up with this version of myself that was telling me that it was okay to keep living a life out of integrity, where I didn't take beautiful care of myself, didn't make decisions that were healthy for me, and in a way I was not showing up well for other people. And there were some things I had to let go of to make room for that better version of myself to flourish, that 2.0 version. So one of those things in my life was alcohol. Alcohol, for me, it was just something that I wasn't a mess, but I had to look at it. And, if you have a broken leg, you might need some crutches to walk around for a while. Well, for me, alcohol was a helpful crutch. It propped me up. And sometimes it's hard to see those crutches when life is looking pretty good. But, even though things are pretty good, I knew in integrity that I needed to learn to walk without the crutches if I wanted things to be great. I came to realize this habit was standing in the way of my personal development. And perhaps for most people, they can include alcohol in their healthy life. But for me, it was a barrier to healing and growing. And as I was putting my notes together to talk to you all, I did not want to talk about this because I thought I was going to be judged or I'd be embarrassed. But I know this community, and I know that there might be people who judge, but I also know that for every person who might be judging, there's also somebody who can relate to what I'm saying. And your crutch might not look at mine, but you might be leaning on something and you're going to say, I get it. So anyway, nobody likes feeling judged, but this is a great community. And I just wanted to be honest with you all, because I know that wanting to show up perfect prevents me from showing up as real. And here's something cool about being real. It's actually the first part of our number 4 habit of transformational leadership. We connect authentically and we cultivate trust. So I learned that connecting authentically, being real, sharing my truth, and allowing myself to be known is an act of service. And when we show our humanness, we allow others to help us. These are acts of service. And connecting authentically with others is an act of service as well. Now, I'm not saying that when I coach my clients, I spend a lot of time talking about myself and my struggles. My coaching calls are about helping my clients to contend for their why. But I'm much more real and more open with people than I used to be because I don't have to look perfect, and that helps to cultivate trust. So, creating authentic connections is an intentional practice for me. It's not a habit yet. It's taken some time, a lot of getting out of my comfort zone to find friends and women in my community who share a desire for connection and authentic friendships. And while I do meet people who become clients in the process of putting myself out there, it's not my goal. My goal is to simply connect authentically and hopefully to relate to new people in my life. So today, I have a community that lifts me up. I have friendships that are deeper and different than they used to be. I have women I see regularly for coffee, to take a walk, to talk on the phone, because I was kind of lonely before, even though I was surrounded by people a lot. It's still uncomfortable, but I can call somebody and say, I'm not okay. And I can allow somebody to witness that and hear that. And I'm learning how to be a better friend. And I don't think I've have done any of this personal growth work if it weren't for being a coach. So this part of my health journey, learning how to show up better for people, this authenticity, it's not something I could have predicted when I started working on my health, but it truly has been a bigger transformation than dropping some dress sizes. So I'm excited to keep moving forward and connecting authentically, not by being perfect, but by being real. So thanks for inviting me to share.